Cancer, we're going into a really interesting phase for the moon. Get it? Phase. Okay. And it's just taking an interesting role in the cosmos right now. And I want to go over the astrology with you. Of course, I'm going to go over the astrology with you. We'll start with the astrology, then we'll get into the cards. This is your weekly tarot card reading from Born Without Boundaries Tarot. It is for Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising Sign. There's always an extended reading, which I invite you to join me for. It goes deeper, it gives you more details, and that link is below. You can also join the Unbound membership and get unlimited access to all of the extendeds for the life of your membership, plus all the other goodies that come with all the other levels of membership. So check that out too. I have a second YouTube channel called Astrology Motivation, which I'll attach the link above. That's where I do live daily tarot card readings, which you can join in on. That's just awesome stuff, and I hope that you'll find me over there. And be sure to subscribe to the channel and ring that notification bell so that you know when I upload your favorite content. Cancer content comes out every single Friday at 9 a.m. Pacific time. So let's get into the astrology first. What is the moon doing? Well, the moon is doing what it always does. It hasn't changed. But how is that impacting us as Cancerians? Well, you'll see if you look up into the sky now, for the next week, and a big event happens in the beginning of next week for Cancerians. But right now, what it's doing is it's going into Capricorn. It's going to go into Aquarius, and what it's doing is coming in contact with Pluto. Really wherever the moon goes, it makes everything else grow. It volumizes, it reflects. Like, say you had a shining light. Imagine you have a shining light, like the sun. But say you have a big shining light, and then you put a mirror near it. It's going to reflect it even more. It's going to volumize the light that already exists. So the moon anywhere is intensifying things, and it's intensifying Pluto. It's intensifying Saturn in Aquarius when it goes into Aquarius, and then it's going into Pisces, and it's intensifying that energy. When it drops into Aries, it's going to drop into Aries next Tuesday, Wednesday, near the same time as Mars drops into Aries. Mars dropping into Aries is like the atom bomb dropping on an atom bomb. It's like return of the soldier. Like, the energy comes back on, and the moon is volumizing this. The moon is psychic. It's what's the right term? Spiritualizing it all, psychicalizing it all. It's making everything deeper and more reflective, and that's creating a tremendous impact on who we are as people, because what really the moon is reflecting now is how we take the lead on things, on how we lead others, on how we treat others when we are in the position of leadership, or how we take on the role of leadership, or how we treat others to get to be leaders, how we kind of take control of who we are, if we take responsibility for who we are, and how that translates to how we have impacted others, right? Especially where we have been in the role of influencers. That's the main theme that as Cancerians we're going to be dealing with. And when that hit to Aries happens, it's really interesting how the moon comes into Aries almost as soon as Mars does, and then next month there's going to be this huge drop of all this energy into Taurus. And when that drop happens, the moon happens too. So what that's telling me is the universe really wants to supercharge and super cleanse and almost nuke all of these substantial energies. It did it in Pisces. It's going to do it in Aries. It's going to do it in Taurus. This is like, I want to cleanse the birthing process. I want to make sure that how things come out this time around is correct. I want to clean out the pipes. I want to make sure that we come correct this time. I want to get everybody in the room to work everything out and volumize this energy, reflect it, show you exactly what is happening and what is going on so you can't miss it this time. The moon is part of the realignment, and it shows me that the cosmos wants to realign us at the psychic level. It's tired of just the surface level. It's really done with that crap. It needs to transform us from the inside so that we can then go and transform the outside. It's not about the topical anymore. It really is about the deeply spiritual. And so for you guys, for Cancerians, us, because I'm a Cancerian myself, this is a time when we really, really strengthen and we really understand our impact and influence over others and learn a lot about ourselves by how we treat other human beings, how we take advantage, how we help, how we hurt, how we inspire. How do we really, are we really self-possessed? Have we been sloppy with who we are? All of those things are going to come to the forefront of our reflection at this point. All the reflections, it's almost like everybody's reflecting back how we have affected them, treated them, etc., etc. So expect, Cancerians, that this could be a wonky time. This could be a very difficult time. This could also be a very powerful time, because the way that you influence and have impacted other people over maybe many years is now going to be reflected back to you, and it's going to make you see yourself for what you actually are, which is how you impact others. And if you've impacted them, happy birthday, Doug Denny, in a wonderful way, you're going to see that. And that could be a humbling experience. If you've impacted them in a horrible way, you're going to have to fucking deal with that. Either way, you're going to have to really deal with yourself now through the reflection of how you've impacted others. And that's what's happening with the moon at this time. Big, big energy. So let's get into the cards. Oh my God. I thought I was going to get the whole deck on that one. I know. Okay, so tend to the small things. And that's a shit thing to start with. But that's what we end up with at our root. Is the details and the crappiness and the shit that we have not looked at. Or maybe we didn't have enough time. But ultimately, tend to the details. This could also be something about your health coming into the forefront that you need to confront. Or doesn't have to be actual physical health, it could be mental health. It could be getting yourself healthy, and or just the little things that you've allowed to build up, all at the surface, crawling out of the walls. Here we are, believe in yourself. This is also Virgo energy. Interesting. What that tells me is we're kind of, in a lot of ways, like a channel. Because when you talk about water flowing, the only time it's surrounded by sand is when the ocean has created a channel into something. So ultimately, this is telling me that right now we're a conduit for change. And a lot of that has to do with going from something that is psychic, like in Pisces, to something that is absolutely real and realized, like Taurus. And we're going through that conduit right now, and that conduit is fire and creation. It's almost like the birth canal, if you will. So ultimately, we are creating something. We're in the works right now. Believe in yourself is here, and tend to the small things. It's also saying we're just going to have to get to work. You know, we're just going to have to get to work on the tedious things, the stuff that we don't like. You know, we live in such a psychic world as Cancerians that the fucking details that are easy for Virgos to see or other earth signs to see, well, but no, this is what we have to do. This is what we have to do. It's about crossing the T's and dotting the I's, and it doesn't matter if it's comfortable for you. Cancerians, it only matters that this is what you're going to have to do. You could be doing a lot of paperwork. You could be reviewing a lot of things. You could be getting things in order. What the universe is telling you now for this next week is it's about hard work. And if that's not glamorous for you and you just want to hear a love reading, I don't really know what to give you, but we're going to continue this message on exactly what you have to work and how you have to work it and what to expect to come from it. So Let's keep moving. We have truth transcends illusion, which means this universe is setting us up to become bigger than what we are right now. This is also us maturing into, or one of our children, so it could be growing and developing and spreading their own wings. This is us leaving the fourth house to create our own fourth house. This is the transition from where we were born to what we have brought to life. Different, right? But both dynamics of Cancerians and the fourth house. So, difference. Let's go back from how we were born, what we were born into, versus what we have brought to life. This is when we work hard to actually bring something of our own to life. Fundamental root challenge is all the fucking details that we have to look at right now. And it's going to feel like nails on a chalkboard. But if you can't resist, you can't withstand nails on a fucking chalkboard, then there's no way you could withstand giving birth. Because I'll tell you, it's 1,000 times worse. So ultimately, get ready, because it's not going to be the easiest, but it's always going to be worth it. We have, like giving birth, it's going to be one of those weeks where you're not going to remember the pain. You're just going to remember the outcome. Right? We have take a leap of faith, which is luck. It's also saying get to work, get started. It's also, yes, saying to you, absolutely, this is time to take action, especially when the moon drops into Aries. Action is going to be the only thing that comforts you. You're going to have to take action. You're going to have to just do it. Just do it. Shoo, Nike swoosh. Go and do it. Very important. You see clearly now, which means something has become very obvious to you. And that has to do with a lot of stuff being reflected back to you. Seeing who you are. Do I like what I see? Oh my God, is this really how I impacted everybody? It's almost like the Christmas Story. Ebenezer Scrooge, objectively with the ghosts, getting to look at all of how he influenced and impacted people. That's what's happening. And by seeing how you impacted others is how you see who you are clearly. And you also see very clearly, or are reminded of your purpose in life and your direction in life. And that helps you start to spread your wings and create or let yourself out and become yourself. Be here now. Look at the moment. This is Libra energy. So this is really beautiful energy, something that's inspiring, something so small. And maybe that's the secret to this card. It's not actually the ugly stuff that's in the details. It's the beauty that's in the details. And if you don't learn to look at the fucking details, you're going to miss the beauty in life sometimes, because you do have a lot of pressure on you right now. It's okay. So there you go. I'm rescinding my first response. It's not the devil that's in the details. It's the beauty that's in the details. And the universe, God, is teaching you, is putting you under a lot of pressure where you're going to have to look into the nooks and crannies of things to show you that the details aren't a bad place to go. The universe is making it enticing for you to teach you a more elevated comfort with details. Like, get comfortable with details, because there's beauty there. There's absolute beauty there. You know, this is the small thing too. Hummingbird is smaller than a mouse. And if you really, really look, you'll see the beauty in that. And then we have be loyal to what you love. And that's going to be really clear. And your heart is going to sing this week. Because like a howl from the moon, it's this primal, deep understanding of how you are connected to everything and everyone. And that you are not alone. And you are letting your beast out. But your beast is also beautiful. And you can harmonize. The beast will harmonize. The beast will howl. And howling is a primal harmony. And it's beautiful. Be loyal to what you love. What do you love? I promise you that is all of a sudden going to become very, very clear to you this week. Exactly who you are and what you're loyal to. Use your mind wisely. This is pig energy. This is take the leap of faith, like we were told before, but also when pigs fly. So the impossible is going to happen, and it's going to happen through one thing, using your mind and mental clarity. And the mental clarity is going to happen. You're going to see really clearly where you're focused. Act as if, fly on the wall. It's also saying, listen. Don't necessarily, yes, you have to take action, but also watch, because watching is action too. And maybe just sit and wait and watch before you decide to put yourself out there. Just watch, really take in take in information. Time for a beginner mind, a porcupine. This is Aquarius energy too. Act as if, and time for a oh, you blended in. For a long time, you blended in. And maybe that's, you were trying to intentionally make yourself blend in. And that's the dumbass part of who we are. Don't see us, don't see us, don't see us. Let us reflect everybody else's light, but forget about who we are. Well, that fucking eclipse changed shit. Okay? And it, I think, made you realize that you need to be more comfortable being seen for exactly what you are, which is a big old rock floating around the earth. Because even just as a big old rock, even when you don't shine, you still influence. You have a gravitational pull, whether you're shiny and bright or not. It doesn't fucking matter. You always have influence, Cancerians. And I think you're just starting to realize that now and starting to be seen. And people, others, Aquarius, community, others are starting to recognize just how much influence and how much impact you have. And then we have nothing is wasted. This is also Aquarian energy, finding treasure in the trash heap. So under pressure, we're finding a lot of blessings. We're finding what is beautiful about this moment. We're finding the thing that's not attractive on the surface, but how much power it has and how necessary it is for life, and how honestly our ecosystem, our life, our world, it couldn't do it without us, right? It's just not possible, and just how really powerful we are. This is really interesting. Finding the treasure in the trash heap, and you are never alone. You know what that tells me? This week, you're going to run into somebody who really understands your beauty and really sees your value. This is the week where somebody's going to take notice of you. Even though you have blended in, maybe intentionally, or you've always felt overlooked, you can't be overlooked this week. This coming week, the next 7 days, is major energy that is going to make you very evident. And it's the energy that you have tried to repress for a long time, which is that primal energy that you're ashamed of. You'd rather reflect other people's light than let them see yourself. Well, now you're coming out and you're letting yourself be seen. And in many, many ways, this is just a relief valve for you, but it's also what's people are going to finally take notice of you because you're finally letting yourself be seen. We've talked about this before. Let's get to the moon cards. Gotta have the moon cards for Cancerians. Can we say a little bit about this? Also, finding people who love you, finding the ones that are right for you. Surrender to the divine, full moon. We just had a full moon. We're heading to another full moon next month, of course. But this is almost like, bam, surrender. Surrender to who sees you, to who notices you, who looks at you, who sees you even when you don't shine. Because remember, the people who are seeing you when you don't shine are the people who feel you. Because that's really what the moon does. The moon is not a light source. It is a feeling. It is a pull. That is what the moon has, even when the sun don't shine. Even when the earth eclipses it, the moon has pull. It always fucking has pull. It always dictates the flow. That's what it does. It don't fucking need the sun. It doesn't need any light at all to pull on the earth, okay? It always has that power. And that's when you really see the truth of who you are and what you can be in life. We have hold your vision, fixed moon. So we're going right now, this is perfect timing, into a half moon. It's been revealed to you. You understand now over the full moon, big old pop, understanding your power again and who you are. And I said this last week. Full moon eclipses are great for Cancerians because that's when we can finally stop distracting ourselves from reflecting everybody else's light, and we finally get to be who the fuck we are again without any kind of glamour or any kind of means to go and reflect on somebody. Fuck everybody else. Like during an eclipse, you just have you. You just have yourself. There was this fucking notification. I'm sorry. You just have yourself. There's absolutely nothing else. And I feel like that's where you restored your power, and now you're asked to hold it. And I think you will. Because when you know what you are, you know who you are, you got that, your world has changed. You're never going to see yourself the same again, and that's really good, and that's part of what the universe has been conspiring for with us is to realign everything that we are, realign who we are back to our true selves. Forget about all this reflective. The moon is, the moon is nothing. The reflective power of the moon, anything can reflect the sun's light. You know, somebody's shiny bald head can reflect the sun's light. That don't make it fucking special. I'm just saying. That's just a bunch of glamour and illusion, which is why the moon is associated with illusion, which isn't really taken seriously. It's just cute. Like, fuck that shit. What does the moon really do? It does a hell of a lot more than just reflect some other person's light. It has a pull, and you have gravity. And my dear, you are about to use it. Let's go into the extended. I can't wait to see you there. The links are below.